If you are an ambitious woman in your 20s or 30s and you want to build something meaningful, this video will be incredibly useful to you. I have spent years building 2 careers and working with international organizations and building a community online. And these are some hard truths I wish I had learned earlier, which would have saved me time and a lot of heartache. So whether you're in corporate or you are building your own business, you would need to learn some of these things. And so let's talk about some of the hard truths that we learn a little too late as ambitious women. Get a degrees, work hard, chase opportunities, be smart. If you're an ambitious woman, you have heard variations of this. Everybody tells you how you should chase these things because these are the things that helps you to go up, climb the corporate ladder, be a successful business owner and all of that. But who tells you about those difficult lessons that you learn a little too late? These are the lessons you will not find in a textbook or in any self-help book. These are the lessons you learn after you have been on the turf a little bit and you wish that there was somebody who would have told you these things as an ambitious woman even before you got to that point, because sometimes these lessons are very hard to learn. So let's get into the video. Number one, your choice of partner matters more than you think. I remember having this conversation with my boss when I was about 24, 25 and discussing with her that I wanted a man who earned more than me, who really could provide for me and all of that, because that's what mainstream advice tells you to. And if you're not careful, those are the metrics you'll be looking for. But what Janine said to me at that time, which I kept in my heart and in my mind, was to find a man who didn't mind me winning and who was okay to support me. At that time, I knew my now husband. I had known him. He was there. But because I started my career with multiple degrees, my base salary was already high. And I thought that this guy is a little quieter. He's not very ambitious as I am, always striving. And so I thought I wanted somebody with more drive and more fire. But Janine's advice helped me to reassess. This is what actually matters when you're looking for a partner. Does this person support you? Do they celebrate your wins? Do they encourage you to do the things that scare you? And what I realized was the truthfulness of Janine's words, because my man supports me in ways that I wouldn't even have thought possible. When I was a business coach, he would come to every one of my webinars. He will sometimes be on a live with me and it was just me and him, and he would stay throughout the live to make sure that I wasn't alone when even my audience was not quite on there yet. Even now, with me starting a new YouTube channel, he bought all the equipment that I needed. He makes sure that he watches my every video with 2 accounts, even though my video is for women. To be honest, there was a time when I took a whole year off as a sabbatical. My husband encouraged me to chase the things that I wanted to, and he took up all the bills in the house. I don't even know the cost of bills in my house anymore. But this is what happens when you trust in God, when you listen to godly wisdom instead of worldly advice, which tells you to chase material things and look for a man who is only a provider, rather than looking for somebody who you can support, because you're supposed to also be a helper, and who can support you and encourage you, especially because being ambitious is hard and you always want a partner who's going to be there for you. So be very mindful when choosing your partner. Second hard truth you will learn as an ambitious woman is that solitude is not the key. We live in a world where everybody is praising solitude. Everybody's cutting people off left, right, center. Everybody has a fake friend. I do not have any fake friends. You know the narrative that is floating around that women are their own enemies. I do not subscribe to that. You need to build healthy female friendships. They are one of the best systems you can have in your life as an ambitious woman, but they do not happen by accident. You need to nurture your friends. You need to make sure that you're showing up for them, celebrate their wins, be there for them when they need a helping hand, when they need a listening ear. Pray for your friends. You need to ask yourself this as an ambitious woman: are you intentionally building friendships that nourish you? Because ambition is easier when you don't have to carry it alone. Another hard truth that sometimes ambitious women learn too late is that life comes in seasons. Not everything in your life is supposed to last forever. Not every friendship is supposed to endure forever. Certain things come to an end. I once had a friend who cut me off because she thought that I engaged with someone she didn't like. I tried several times to mend that relationship, but obviously I was labeled a hater at that point, and so nothing I did would resolve that friendship. I suffered a friendship heartbreak, but I learned to let that friendship go, because sometimes People recognize that first, that you're in their life for a season before you realize that. And so learn that it is okay to let some friendships go. You can still love people from a distance, but stop holding on to people for so long after they do not want to be engaged with you. That is one of the easiest ways to cause yourself heartbreak, and you do not have time for that as an ambitious woman. I also remember professionally working in a role where it got to a point I was earning a lot, and then I got somebody tell me that they felt I was earning more than doctors who were working in that institution, and so I should agree to a pay cut. I said, no, that's not something I'm willing to do. Now, that could have led to a big confrontation. Instead, I said, you know what? I'm able to train about 2 people to take up my role. In that case, you get 2 people, you can split payments among them, and I'm happy to go. I still have a relationship with that institution because I did not hold on to money. I'm a child of God. I believe that abundance comes to me. I believe that I would always get better. And if you haven't watched the video where I spoke about how I built my life from scratch, you should go watch that video, because in it I talked about how I went from nothing to building 2 careers. And so from that, I know that God is always going to come through for me. I never struggle with money. I do not have confrontations about money. I am not tethered to money, like it is my lifeline. And so you should also have that idea that even when it feels like you're losing something, you should be willing to let certain things go. Let that season go. Let that job go. Let that friendship go. Let anything that is holding you back or that does not want you go. So when something is ending, do not hold on to it. Do not be dramatic about it. Don't let it end in strife and bitterness. Don't try to cut everybody off because they ended things with you. Don't think of it as a failure. Ask yourself, is this a season that is ending? Pray for grace and gracefully let it go. Another lie ambitious women are often told is that you must only pick one path and stick to it. And people often misquote the saying, jack of all trades, master of none, and conveniently forget the other part of that saying, which is better than a master of one. And so if you are a multi-passionate, ambitious woman like myself, then ask yourself, why would you want to stick to one? I consistently am able to do these things. I built a business online. I continue to build a community. Sometimes people ask me, why are you doing all of this? But what else should I be doing? Scrolling all the time. I am able to reinvent myself multiple times because I do not think that you as an ambitious woman should stick to one path. Exploring multiple interests has helped me to understand myself better. It has kept me intellectually curious. It has kept me balanced. And so if you're someone who enjoys multiple interests, know that if you nurture them right, they can be the blueprints for your life. If you nurture them right, these interests can turn out to be one of your greatest assets. So instead of listening to the naysayers who tell you to pick just one path, I want you to remember to stick to the path you're on. Build as many interests as you want, explore them, become a diverse woman. The only thing that is constant is change. And so be open to changing as much as you need to, be open to reinvention as much as you need to, so that you can understand yourself better, so that you can become the woman of your dreams. Fifth lesson that some ambitious women learn a little too late is that ambition alone is not enough. You must commit to being excellent. And the thing is that excellence comes at a price. I remember when I joined a new organization, an international organization, and I had been there barely a month, but the organization was conducting a 360 review. So everybody was giving reviews about others, and somebody wrote that I was too ambitious. It stayed with me for years. I was thinking to myself, wait, I just got here. Am I already talking too much? Am I showing up too much? Maybe I should talk less. Maybe I should tone it down. But that would have been the saddest thing I would have done to myself. Because here's the truth. People will often call excellence too much, too driven, too ambitious, too intense. But the world doesn't move forward because of people who are laid back or people who just blend in. The world moves forward because of excellent humans who take the next step. And so instead of deciding to shrink, I decided to become the best. I decided to become excellent at research. I decided to become excellent at strategy, at building businesses, at showing up, at building things from scratch, like this YouTube channel. Excellence would definitely be rewarded, and that same ambition that same excellence that made people uncomfortable was the reason I was invited into bigger rooms, was the reason why I kept being elevated, kept being promoted, kept going further in my career and in my life. And so when people start questioning you, when people start calling you too much, don't think of blending in. Don't think that it's enough to be ambitious. It's enough to say you want the things. Do the things that actually get you the things. Be excellent at your friendships. Be excellent in the career you choose. Be an excellent employee. Be excellent in how you show up for yourself, and you would receive the rewards for the excellence you pursue. So let's do a recap. Ambition is a beautiful thing, and many people call themselves ambitious nowadays, but this is what will help you to stand out. Remember that ambition comes at a price, and so be willing to pay the price of ambition. Ambition's debts must be paid. And so these are the things that you want to keep in mind so that you do not learn these lessons a little too late. Make sure that you're choosing a partner who uplifts you, who encourages you, who celebrates your wins, and who would support you, because ambition is hard. Choose friends that keep you going, that you nurture, that surround you. And all your friends do not need to be ambitious. That's something to be cautious about. Choose friends that you love, that pour into you, that you're happy to also pour into them. Remember that things do not last forever. There are seasons, whether that's a job, a friendship, a marriage, whatever. There are seasons to things. So if people do not want you in your life anymore, or things end, don't consider it as a failure. Look at it as a learning point and then move on from that. You also want to make sure that you are choosing excellence. It's not enough to just call yourself ambitious if you're not doing the things that ambitious people actually do. If you're not making sure that you're growing with yourself as a person, you're growing in your career, you're growing with your relationships, you need to make sure that you are excellent. You are becoming a woman of excellence. And then finally, allow yourself to explore different paths. Don't be shrunk into one particular path. Be able to reinvent yourself at any point in time. If you think you need another degree, go get it. If you think you want to branch into a different field, go learn the skills that you need to branch into that field. Refuse to box yourself into one particular area and live free, because that is how you discover yourself. That is how you stay intellectually curious, and that is how you stay bold. And so thank you for being here. I love it when I get to have these conversations with you. And we have noticed that even though you watch some of these videos, you are not yet subscribed. So please go ahead to subscribe and click the notification bell so you know when a new video is posted. And I need you to do me one favor. Please share this video with an ambitious woman you know. So thank you very much. I am glad you are doing this, and I will see you in the next video.